What's up, everybody? Mixer Madness, Brett Mix for my channel, Macho Wrestling 101. Welcome back to the Monday Night Wars. This is the WWF side, and it's week 91. As always, I archive these reviews, so whenever you want to follow along with the Monday Night Wars on your own time, these reviews will be archived on my channel. Hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying them. I'm certainly enjoying rewatching them. Ratings for this week were a 2.6 for Raw and a 3.5 for Nitro. So WCW wins for the 54th week in a row. Nitro won by a total of 0.9 viewers this week. So now after the loss this week, the scoreboard for the Monday Night Wars for the WWF, they have 17 wins all time. 1-7, that is, 17 wins, and 72 losses and 2 draws through the 91 weeks of the Monday Night War. This Raw went live on the USA Network for the week of July the 14th, 1997, from the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas. They're back in the States after being in Canada last week for a Canadian Stampede and the Raw in Edmonton. Back in the US of A now, in Shawn Michaels' hometown and Austin's home state. We first see McMahon stating that the Hart Foundation went from heroes to the most wanted men in the Lone Star State. There was a video package before Raw that said that. Hart, with his Canadian flag, came out with the Hart Foundation members. He had the flag in the front as he was marching out as their captain. Brett gets booed and says there are no rats in Alberta, but there is in Texas. It's filled with it. Brett says he will never wrestle on American soil if he loses. McMahon corrects him and says, no, you said if you don't win, you'll never wrestle on American soil. Because you can lose without winning. Like, there could be a DQ, and McMahon was correcting Brett as the fans cheer. Owen says Austin should pucker up with chapstick because he's going to kiss his ass. Bulldog says he'd eat a can of dog food if he loses. Pillman says he'd wear a dress, and Goldust bashing statements saying Dusty's son became a drag queen. He says he would wear one of Marlena's dresses, if you know what I mean, and it won't be the only thing he's going to get into if he should lose. Brett says it's going to be a Canadian summer. The glass hits and Austin comes to the entrance ramp. Huge pop. Then Shamrock joins him. Then the Patriot comes out. First debuting we see of the Patriot, Del Wilkes. Psycho Sid then comes out to a huge pop, and Shawn Michaels, the hometown boy, then all these wrestlers are joining Austin on the stage, all getting pops. The question was, who would be Austin's partner tonight, and what did Mankind promise would be there next week? Those were the two questions. Against the Bulldog and Owen tonight for the tag titles, as the Bulldog and Owen won that vacant tournament to get the chance to face Austin, who is co-champion, with a surprise partner. So that's the main event for tonight after a good opening segment. Opening the show off with the first match, it's Ivan Putski, the Polish Power, who's a Hall of Famer, and his son, the light heavyweight Scott Putski, taking on another father-son duo of Brian Christopher and Jerry the King Lawler. Ivan sang a Polish song, and then the King and Christopher dropped Putski down with a double axe handle. The Polish Power came back with a shot, and the Putskis win in the end at 4:55 as the Hall of Famer and his son Scott defeat the Lawlers. I gave the match a 1.5 stars. It was actually pretty decent for what it was. Paul Bearer said next week he will prove that Kane is alive, which is pretty deep. Taka Michinoku took on the debuting Yoshihiro Tajiri as far as the WWF goes. A suicide plancha to the outside to a very young Tajiri. The more offense by Taka Michinoku around the ring. A lot of quick offense. A lot of high-flying moves. And then he hit the Michinoku driver, which did Tajiri in, so I gave it 2 stars and 3/4. Next up, we had Los Boricuas, Jose Estrada and Miguel Perez with Jesus Castillo and Savio Vega taking on the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher. Good tag team continuity in this one. At 4:26, the Boricuas get the win after the DOA began brawling with the Boricuas as they came biking down to the ringside during this match. Star and 3/4 for that match. Next up, Del Wilkes, the Patriot, cut a promo on Brett and the Hart Foundation and the country of Canada and his country of the United States of America backstage. Then they had HBK come to the ring. HBK and McMahon were doing an interview in mid-ring, and Shawn said it's the $1 million question if he teams with Austin. He says he's not 100%. HBK says he wasn't last time. He's not this time. He then bows to McMahon on his knees and says, "Boss man, make me a part of SummerSlam because I've been waiting to get Brett's ass out of America longer than anyone." And the crowd pop. HBK then dances around some more for his hometown crowd while McMahon loves it. He's all smiles. "Ladies and gentlemen, Shawn Michaels." Savio Vega began hour 2 by dragging a cameraman backstage with him. JR and McMahon are at the commentary booth while Vega does this. All of a sudden, in the parking lot, the DOA and the Bariquas go at it. Complete carnage backstage, gang wars, as trash cans are being thrown onto each other with steel cans, and the more brawling that took place, the more out of hand it got. So there's obviously a rivalry going away with the two former Nation members as they form the Disciples of Apocalypse and Los Bariquas. Next up, Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man, took on the Hart Foundation's Jim the Anvil Neidhart. It was a test of power to begin as both men looked for each other's strength to be a key in this match. Both guys work a physical match here. It was only a 4-minute match, but a Hurricane Rana to Neidhart, a nice standing Hurricane Rana by Ken Shamrock. At 4:41, Shamrock wins and makes the Anvil tap out to a headlock in a standing headlock position. Bulldog then attacks Shamrock after the bell, and Neidhart helps him after the bell rang as he lost the match, and him and the Bulldog would stomp on Shamrock as the Bulldog meets Shamrock for the European title at SummerSlam. The Patriot then came out and slammed both Bulldog and the Anvil down. He came out to protect Shamrock. Shamrock wasn't sure he was there to protect him at first, but then he told him, and then he cooled down. Gave that match half a star. They run the Mankind Austin video package backstage, and Mankind saying he would have to change the WWF and Mankind forever with Austin not caring, and then Austin stunning Mankind last week. They played that video package, and then they tried to interview Mankind backstage, but he wouldn't say anything. So they cut to the ring, where it's going to be LOD versus the Blackjacks, but the Godwins interrupt them on the stage ramp. The Godwins attacked the LOD, a slop drop to Road Warrior Hawk, which busted him open. Vader and Funk then went at it for a match. Vader, instead of the tag match, as that went to a no contest. Vader with stiff body shots on Funk. JR calls him Too Cold Scorpio by accident. He's sent to the outside. Funk with a suicide dive to Vader to the floor. Funk comes back in and uses Vader uses his mask to hit a bear clap on Funk. Vader with a big splash from Funk kicked out, a spinning kick to Vader, and a moonsault by Flash, but only a near fall on Vader. Vader then hits a standing powerbomb and finishes Flash Funk off that way. Vader wins at 4:11 after his powerbomb. And Austin then in an interview says he knows he knows all about not being 100% if Shawn Michaels isn't 100% because he hasn't been 100% all damn year. Wait till SummerSlam 97, Steve. Wait till SummerSlam 97. He'll be a little bit less than 100% shape then. So that's what Austin says. And the next match is Austin's match as we come back from a break. Who's going to be his partner? Next up, Austin and a mystery partner versus the Hart Foundation, Owen and Bulldog for the vacant tag team championship. Bulldog and Owen win the tournament. The partner isn't evident who would be there yet. Mankind said he'd have to take drastic measures this week, but what did he mean? All these questions would be answered. Austin didn't wait for any partners. He went right at it with Owen and the Bulldog. Austin clotheslines Owen and then goes for a sharpshooter, but Bulldog ran in the ring. Every time Austin got the advantage, they let the two-man advantage, or the one-man advantage, 2-on-1, prevail, as Austin did everything he could, and as his own man, but it wasn't working as the Bulldog and Owen had such good continuity. They had such good chemistry as a tag team. Then on the Titantron, Austin's partner is seen walking when you only see his feet walking forward. Austin clotheslined both men and dumped both guys to the outside. Then Dude Love showed up on the Titantron. Mick Foley, not Mankind, but dressed as Dude Love, and Foley gets a good ovation. Dude Love then gets a better ovation than I remembered when I watched it live as he came out to save Austin. Austin tagged in Dude, but then he tagged in Austin. Austin said, no, I need a break. Austin then stunned the Bulldog, and Dude got the cover for the 3. Dude Love and Steve Austin win the vacant titles 9 minutes after the stunner. And Dude Love gets swarmed with chicks after the match. Austin gives Dude Love the belt and shakes his head. I rated it 2.5 stars. The end of the show with Dude and Austin celebrating. Quality rating, this show, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. The show overall is a different type of one when it comes to how it all ended. The debut was well received going back, but I remember being a little underwhelmed because Nitro had guys like Hennig and Raven debuting. So to debut with just a different personality of Foley felt a little weak. But this was the summer of 97 when Canada faced USA, and although the scoreboard looks slighted in the face of Nitro through 91 weeks, Nitro has 72 wins. This was still a good Raw, as were a lot of the Raws around this time period. So 6.5 out of 10 for this week's Raw. Again, if you like these reviews, hit like and subscribe. I'm Brett Mix from Mixer Madness on the channel of Macho Wrestling 101, and I'm out. Thanks for watching.